Have you ever been recruited to be Santa's helper at a mall by a desperate elf? Last December, I was killing time at the mall waiting for my girlfriend to finish her shift at the jewelry store when a tiny woman in an elf costume grabbed my arm. "Please, you have to help me," she whispered, her fake pointed ears drooping. "Santa just quit mid-shift and there are 40 kids in line. I'm 6'4" with a beard I'd been growing since October." She looked at me like I was the answer to her prayers. "I don't know anything about being Santa," I protested. She was already dragging me toward the North Pole setup. "Can you say ho 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 and not swear in front of children?" When I nodded, she said, "You're hired." Before I could object, she shoved me into a break room where a red suit hung on a chair, still warm from the previous Santa. "He left because a kid threw up on him," she explained, tossing me the pants. "Third time this week. I should have run, but she looked so desperate, and somewhere outside children were waiting. The suit was too small, the jacket barely closed, the pants ended at my calves, and the beard kept sliding sideways." The elf, who introduced herself as Brenda, looked me over and sighed. "It'll have to do. Just remember, every kid gets a candy cane, no promises about specific gifts, and absolutely no holding babies." My first kid was easy, a shy 5-year-old who whispered she wanted a dinosaur. I deepened my voice, said something about checking my list, and sent her off with a candy cane. I thought I had this figured out. Then came Tyler. Tyler was 7, skeptical, and armed with questions. "Why does your beard smell like coffee?" he demanded. "How do you fit down chimneys if you're so fat?" Before I could answer, he pulled my beard down and announced to the entire line, "This isn't the real Santa." Panic spread through the crowd. Parents glared. Children started crying. Brenda looked like she might faint. That's when inspiration struck. I leaned forward and whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear, "You're absolutely right, Tyler. I'm not Santa." The crowd gasped. Brenda's face went white, but I continued. "I'm Santa's brother, Steve. Santa's busy at the North Pole with a massive toy emergency. A whole shipment of game consoles got delivered to the wrong warehouse. He sent me to take notes on what everyone wants while he fixes it." Tyler's eyes widened. "Santa has a brother?" I nodded solemnly. "Someone has to run the workshop while he's delivering presents. I usually stay at the North Pole, but this is an emergency." The line of children buzzed with excitement. They'd met Santa's brother. This was even better than regular Santa. For the next 3 hours, I became Steve Claus. I told kids about my workshop specializing in unusual toys. I explained how I invented the self-wrapping present. One girl asked why I wasn't famous like Santa, and I said I preferred working behind the scenes. "Someone has to test all those video games." I winked. Parents started taking pictures, posting about meeting Santa's mysterious brother. Kids asked increasingly creative questions, and I made up an entire Claus family history. There was Uncle Pete, who trained the reindeer, Cousin Maria, who designed the sleigh's GPS system, and Grandma Claus, who quality tested all the cookies. Around hour 4, a kid with thick glasses approached. "My dad says Santa isn't real," he said quietly. The crowd went silent. This was the moment every mall Santa dreaded. I knelt down to his level. "Your dad's right about something," I said. "The Santa you see in stores and malls isn't the real one, but that doesn't mean the magic isn't real. Every time someone gives a gift, helps someone in need, or makes someone smile during the holidays, that's Santa's magic working through them." His mom started crying. Other parents nodded approvingly. The kid smiled and asked if he could help be Santa's magic too. I gave him 2 candy canes and told him to give one to someone who looked like they needed cheering up. By closing time, word had spread about Steve Claus. The mall manager asked if I could come back tomorrow. Parents were specifically requesting Santa's brother. Brenda offered me $500 for the week. My girlfriend found me still in costume, surrounded by children, and took about 50 photos while laughing hysterically. I worked that entire week as Steve Claus. Kids would bring drawings of what they imagined the whole Claus family looked like. One boy brought cookies specifically for me, not Santa. A girl gave me a handmade business card that said, "Assistant Santa," to make my job sound more official. On Christmas Eve, my last shift, the original Santa showed up. He'd heard about Steve Claus and came to see what the fuss was about. We took a photo together, told kids we were heading back to help Santa with the big night. The crowd applauded. That mall still has a Steve Claus every year now. It became their thing. I set the precedent, and now some other bearded guy continues the tradition. Last week, a teenager recognized me at a coffee shop. "You're the original Steve Claus," he said. Turns out he was Tyler, the kid who exposed me that first day. He said that Christmas was his favorite because he got to be part of creating a new legend.